All right, back at it. Here we are, Decision Games Battle in These, Volume 1, Bagration Stopped scenario. And we are now beginning the German turn 4. We start with the supply phase, and we do a quick look at the board here. Everybody's in supply down here. Unfortunately, these Panzer units are surrounded, 19th Panzer, and out of supply. And of course, our friends in the 4th SS are out of supply too, and slowly being compressed here. And we've got some units up here that are getting trapped, but it looks like this turn, hopefully some of these units can make the escape here, and then we're okay up here. So still have some out of supply issues here. I think we do get the Germans get reinforcements. Here we go. The 542nd Volksgrenadier is on the board this turn, and since it's coming in, its entry hex is a rail hex. It can do the first turn of entry 1/2 movement, so they can pretty much move 8 hexes along the rail line this turn to position themselves. So, taking a look at things, yeah, this is a big event here. Soviet's 2nd Tank Army, 8th Guards Tank, and 16th Tank have crossed the Bug River, taken a victory hex, and are, of course, threatening potentially these victory hexes, the rear of 2nd Army, and this is an immediate win right here. So Germans don't have a lot of units up here, so we'll see this turn if they can do anything. These units are in a good position to block things. So we're going to just see how that plays out, and it does not look like any relief for 4th SS. There was a moment last turn maybe to break through here and try and get them out, but that's kind of gone now. So German focus now is defending the river lines, defending their victory hexes, as we're about to enter, getting close to the second half of the scenario. So with that said, I'm going to pause it here, and I'm going to pull up the German initial move. Be right back. Okay, we're back. Um, Starting down here in the south, Germans trying to take advantage of the river still here. They're in good shape. Trying to keep 8th Guards here pinned, which they are, pinned against the river. And we'll see if they choose to attack, slowly push them off. Also trying to block, well, this is all 8th Guards here, so trying to keep them, restrict their mobility. We got woods defense here, that's good. And actually, they're going to do a limited counterattack here against the 2nd Polish Rifle Division, try and push them back across the Vistula. Slipped in a Tiger unit for a 1-hour shift, and they'll probably get a shift from 2R from 9th Army. And the Volksgrenadiers have pretty much moved here. Not quite sure which direction they're going to go. Could go here. I don't know. There's always a chance. I don't push through here and try and cut across here. I don't think they can pull that off, but anything's possible. And let's go and see what is going on up here. First off, this unit, the Germans are going to attack here, and by this unit moving here, it brings these panzers back in supply. So they're going to attack here, hopefully advance where they're not in zone of control, and then during the mech move they can redeploy to properly defend this. Hermann Göring actually moved up north because of the problems here, and on the way is going to try and swap this tank brigade back. And then they've got the flexibility again to move up here, move down here. We'll see. I don't think the Germans are going to be aggressive this turn. They learned their lesson about exposing themselves. And the two tank brigades, I think both of these in a Stug. I think they redeployed over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, they redeployed over here. So in the mech move, we'll see what they can do with blocking the Russians. And then finally up here, yeah, we're trying a wholesale withdrawal. Unfortunately, the Russians are going to move up and engage, which engages us and slows down our retreat. But at this point, I think the Germans need to get as much force as they can. The Nara and the Nara down here, and protect protect these victory point axes. Because again, the Soviet victory comes at 6 victory points, and at this point they only have 1 for this hex. Even if they took all of these, that would only be 5. That's a draw. So if they took all the victory point hexes besides the sudden death, it would be a draw. So that's it. The Germans are being a little more conservative, shifting over to the defense here. So let's go ahead and pause again and come back for the results of their combats. Okay, starting in the south, the Poles, well, they get swatted 5-1 on 6. I think that's 2. Retreat, and because it was an unbridged major river hex here, if you retreat across one of those, you lose automatically lose 1 step. And you can probably find that in the retreat section here. There it is. Over an unbridged river hex, you take 1 additional step loss in addition to the combat result. So they retreated the full 2 for the result, but then they still had to take a step loss. So the Germans are still beating up on the first Polish army here. And then up here, 9-1 on 2. Too bad. They had a chance to destroy that unit, but a 9-1 on 2. Pull that across here. Yeah, it's too bad. This would have been a nice result here. I mean, anything but 2. They got 2 steps, so the unit just retreats 2. The Panzers don't follow because now they're not in enemy ZOC, and they've got their full 4 mech move they can use to reposition themselves. And here, though, 10-1 on 5, they did more than just swat the Russian tank brigade. They destroyed it. But again, they're not going to advance because they want to stay out of enemy zone of control, so they have their full 4. So relatively successful attacks here, just trying to clean up the line. And then that brings us, of course, to the German mech move, and we're going to see what kind of defenses they set up for the next turn when the Russians do get to pick 1 onboard army to be in attack supply, in addition to the 70th right here, which is going to probably be slamming into these units down here this next turn, starting to reduce the pocket to free up those guys. So let's go ahead and pause one more time. We'll go to the German mech move. Okay, there's not really any mech moves down here in the south. I think I made this guy do something. No, he just stayed there. He doesn't want to be in ZOC, keep his freedom of movement. Because, yeah, no Russians can come here. I guess we could have tried to put him here and then blocked off this hex as a crossing. And then the Russians only had this hex to cross, but there's nothing over here to cross, so I don't think it matters. Let's move up here. And yeah, here are the German defenses now. 19th Panzer goes down here to the south. I debated pulling them right next to Warsaw, but it's all about delay, so and then I said, why haven't I pulled these infantry units out? But, you know, if the Russians take all 4 Warsaw hexes, that's an automatic victory, so probably better to leave them in there. Wrestle with that maybe next turn. And then up here, Hermann Göring sits on this rough here. I think that gives them a 2L, amongst other things. And they've got the river. This guy's kind of exposed, but we'll just see what the Russians do. This guy's very exposed, but I did this mainly to block. Well, they can get to here if they wanted, but they can't get to here, so they can't surround him. The cavalry covers the river. This guy stays here in his field fort, and then these guys, just as a delay tactic, pin the Russian mech and tank units here across the river. This guy could conceivably move down here to here or to here. But this, and then this guy's here. So this bridgehead, at least right now, is temporarily contained, while hopefully we get a chance to stream more of the Second Army away from these units, although it's still going to be slow because all these guys have to do is move up, and that's a +2 MP just to lead their Zoc. So we'll see. It's too early to make a call here. The Russians don't have the victory points, so they still need, well, they still got some work to do. And with their supply situation, they're going to have to pick an army. Probably going to be second tank. Again, they should get it first, attack supply. So maybe they can put more units across the river here, try and exploit that, and then pull more of these units up here to hold the front, and maybe put pressure on Warsaw here, and reduce the front and keep these guys up here engaged. But that'll be a whole nother debate next turn. So it brings us to the end of the German fourth turn, and we'll move into the fifth turn here and see what the Russians pick. So thanks for listening. Comments appreciated. Hit like if you like, subscribe. Otherwise, see you back here for the Russian turn 5. See you then.